Hey, this is BlindFox and welcome at my Ration review. Please support the channel, please subscribe and please go and donate on patreon.com. So today we are going to do the 2020 SERAC, the Extreme Pack, and we already had Extreme Pack 4 that we reviewed, but this is again the last, this is Pack 1. So we're going to do our breakfast portion, and you can, if you don't know if you remembered, but the last time we did the 2020 ration, it was packed in March. This one was packed in June. And now their shelf life is 3 years, not only 2. Which is interesting. So South African rations has got a 3 year shelf life now. I think mainly due to there's no cheeses in there. I think that was one of the limiting factors on the other rations where you've got your cheeses. That sort of limits your shelf life. For these ones anyway. So we will see what we're going to have for breakfast. And again, this whole ration is 3,600 kcals for the whole day. And it weighs about 1.75 kgs, about there. So let's see. So for breakfast, we are going to have some muesli. Yes, this muesli with milk, tropical flavor. I think these are new packaging. I can't remember, but I think the other packaging might have been a bit larger maybe. And from a little bit different material, but these I think might be a bit smaller. I can't remember. I don't have any. All the other rations are finished. I didn't check this, but this is a nice. Well, the package is still nice, and the printing. I think some of the printing was different, but here we've got our muesli, and again it's gusseted so you can use it. It can stand on its own. The drink, on the other hand, I don't know if this is the earlier one, but this one can't stand on its own, so you have to mix it. And this is pineapple, and it takes 500 ml, so I will use my bottle. This is just the spoork and the serviette and salt and pepper. We've got our coffee. We've got the serviettes, which we won't use now, but a nice little packet of them. We've got the new ration heater. I'm also not going to use it, but this package looks like it fit in there. And this takes much less space than the previous ration heater, even though there is free in the packet. You can see there it can just go quite small. We're going to do the peanut butter oats cookies. This is 100 grams, and we're going to do, this looks like a chocolate nut energy bar, and not just a chocolate. It's about 45 grams. So this is going to be breakfast. Now there's a gusseted, and it's sort of got a T-notch, and it's got a ziplock. So you just tear it open there. And you can see there down there coffee, milk and sugar. And you can let it stand. So our muesli again, also a T-notch. Much more difficult to actually tear this open. Actually have to exert yourself a bit, but this also opens. And there you can see the muesli inside there. You can see the milk powder as well. And there's some of the fruit that's in there. So I will go and put water in here. I will use hot water. I sometimes use cold water, but here I will use hot because there's hard banana in there, I think, which softens quite nicely when you use hot water. So I'll go and do that and be back. Okay, here we've got our breakfast. So we will start with our pineapple isotonic drink. This takes half a liter, and the previous ration, although the ones that came out in April, they had a little mixing pouch, or where the pouch where they had the powder in could take half a liter of water. I tested. So this one not, so you have to have an extra bottle or something to mix your drink in. So let's see. Very yellow, smells like pineapple jelly. Mostly sweet. We've got this sort of a artificial pineapple taste. Tastes a lot like jelly, just not as sweet, this one. But a slight, I wouldn't call this a tart taste, but just not as sweet as some of the others I had, which is actually nice. Sometimes this stuff can be too sweet, and most likely artificial coloring, but it's not a bad drink. So what we will do next is our, while we wait for the rest, is our chocolate. This is quite a sturdy bar, as you can see. Now if you break this, you can see there that normal protein stuff in the middle. This is not chocolate on the outside, this is just squashed protein stuff. So let's taste. You can taste the chocolatiness, the nuttiness. You get that proteiny taste. But it's a good thing that there is no chocolate in this, because this will not melt and it's quite sturdy. So I always thought that this was a good ration bar. You do get that proteiny grittiness, but it's a sweet but not too sweet. I actually like this. So the next thing, we will do our oats. I hope this has reconstituted some. Now I used hot water so that the pineapple or the... So this can do the bowl thing. You can see there. Because this is a bit more sturdy, I think, than the previous packaging. You usually struggle to get it in the bowl shape, but if you've got it there, you can see there's some muesli. I haven't read all that's in here, but there's some grains, which is nice. There's milk powder in there. There's, I see, bananas. There's raisins. And there might be other little fruits as well, but the muesli itself doesn't get extraordinarily soft, which is a good thing. The hot water does make that crunchy banana stuff nice and soft. And the rest, it sort of brings out the flavor a bit more sometimes than cold water. The cold water, your banana stays very hard, but this, your banana gets a chance to get softer. It's not, if there's sugar added, it's not a lot. So the raisins does make it a bit sweeter. I actually like this without a lot of sugar. You get enough sugar with your coffee, or I think. But it's not bad though. As I said, the sweetness of the raisins comes through. You get sort of the banana taste, and there's some other fruit stuff in there as well. And the grains are nice. As I said, they don't get overly soggy. So our coffee. I don't know, I've heard about the American drinking stuff where you have if you add your hot water to your drinking pouches, that your fingers get burned. But this, you can actually, if you sort of scrunch this up, you can actually see there is quite a nice big seal on the edges of the bag. So the seal doesn't really get hot. So you can sort of close this, roll it up a bit and shake it quite nicely, just holding on to the top of the bag and the outside here. And you can hold the bag closed. Well, there's a ziplock anyway, but you can keep the bag from accidentally opening, and you can hold this without really burning your fingers. And the ziplock on top sort of give it a more sturdy shape if you want to drink. So let's try this. And if you want to drink, you can just put your hand on the bottom, squish it up like this, or just squish it up like this, and you can have a nice drinking. And the bottom is not, because again there's a little seal there, so your hand won't burn from the coffee. I really like these drinking pouches. They are actually, for what they're not really very high technical, but just the bigger seal here gives you a good grip point. So let's taste this. Now the coffee, it takes 200 ml, and it's still nice and strong. There is sugar and milk in there, but the coffee is strong enough to sort of counterbalance that. I really actually like this. And of course the last thing we get to is our cookies. This is the peanut butter oat cookies. You can see they are quite nice and big and round. So I want to take this broken one. So let's take a bite. Interesting. So this is a peanut butter oat, but you don't get the overwhelming peanut butter taste in a cookie, which I think is brilliant. You don't get that honey taste you get with some oats and crunchy cookies. This is an extremely crunchy cookie though. So I'm going to try some with the coffee as well. Oh, really, it goes well with the coffee as well. So this cookie has sort of got a almost a toasty, sort of a roasted, almost a toasty roasted grain taste. I think that's the taste what I'm tasting. There is sugar in, and it is a sweet. It is not. It's a sweet cookie, but you don't get that overwhelming sweetness that you get with some. It's not too sweet. It's sort of nicely balanced with the coffee. It goes well. As I said, very roasty. You don't have that sweet honey taste you get with some oat cookies, but it's sort of a roasted, almost a roasted oats taste maybe. I don't know. I've never really tasted this particular taste before, but it's sort of almost a nice roast. I don't know. It's a very nice taste. As I said, you don't get. There might be some peanut flavor in there since it is peanut butter oats. Yes, this is a peanut butter oatie. But, well, I'm not a fan of peanut butter if it's not in bread or not on bread. I don't think the peanut butter belongs in a cookie, but this, I was actually very wary of this cookie because I didn't know how it would taste, but in the end, you don't get the overwhelming peanut buttery taste. It might be in there, but everything blends together quite nicely. So this is, I don't know, this is a very well balanced cookie. So what did I think about all of this? The chocolate, the nut protein or energy bar is nice. It is sort of, there's no actual, it's not dipped in chocolate, so it won't melt easily. If it's very hot and stuff, you can carry it in your pocket without having it melting. The cookies goes excellent with the coffee. You don't have an overwhelming peanut taste, but it's sort of a roasted oats or roasted grainy taste. I think it's really, I like this. The pineapple drink is just, it's not as sweet as some that I had before, but you do get that sort of artificial pineapple-y jelly taste. The coffee, although there's sugar in here, this is not, it's still strong enough not to be overly sweet. And your oats with milk, or your muesli with milk, though the grains doesn't get too soggy. If you use hot milk and you've got a tropical, it is a tropical one, your banana sort of get nice and soft. You can always use cold milk here as well. It is just a bit more crunchy. And you of course do have a ration heater, so you can actually heat your coffee in your ration heater. I think this will also fit into the ration heater. You must just sort of tip it on its side, maybe just so that it wouldn't leak here. The thing that I think that they might add is just the extra little hot water bag, so that you can heat extra water, maybe for your muesli. Then you don't have to put the whole packet in there. It will heat easier. But otherwise, it's a good thing. I will test one of the ration heaters with lunch. So this was our breakfast meal of the 2020 SERAC, the Extreme Pack, Pack 1, or Menu 1. So this was packed in 2020 and expires in 2023. I will see how the menus and stuff change on their website if I want to do a 2021 menu, but this was our little review. I really enjoy their new stuff. It's there's a bit more, there's not as much of a variety maybe as there was, but you at least get different cookies, and you've got the food is quite nice and a bit more, it varies a bit more, and there's interesting stuff like and they've got a lot of interesting, I mean, they've got the new 3-in-1 coffees. I haven't done the 3-in-1 tea yet. I don't like tea with milk and sugar, so I'm gonna leave that to our dinner menu. So that was, and I will test that out. So this was breakfast. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, and please donate on patreon.com. So see you at my next ration review.